Hi, my name is Brendan Rooney. I'm an editor for the Daily Planet, and today I'm joined by my guest, Alison Araya. Alison is known for her role of Amber on the HBO Max hit series Peacemaker, directed and founded by James Gunn. You may also know her from Netflix on Julie and the Phantoms, CW, Smallville, Arrow, Riverdale, just to list a few, Supernatural on top of that. And today we are going to be discussing how she got the role, what's creative about it, what's it like working with James Gunn, and answering almost everything Peacemaker. So make sure you watch, click, subscribe, and have a good time. So with Peacemaker, it's like a really big production, and it's HBO Max budget. And I read a lot of your work. You were on CW. Like, my first question is, how is the difference between a CW set, Netflix set, and say an HBO Max set?
Yeah, I mean, they're both big productions, but I think, something like a new show, this is what made Peacemaker really different and a unique experience for me. Obviously, the show is starting out, everyone's finding the tone, finding the rhythm of it. So yeah, I think that was probably one of the biggest differences. And then, yeah, just working with someone as awesome as John Cena was pretty rad. And James Gunn, obviously.
So what was it like working with John Cena? You guys had amazing chemistry. You and Lenny Jacobson, John Cena, you were ad-libbing off each other. Was that James Gunn's writing, or was that full-on improv ad-lib?
No, listen, props to James Gunn for his solid writing. I mean, everything was on the page. He did give us opportunities, though, to do some improv, and the scenes, post-credit scenes, are mostly, I think all of them are improv so far. So there's definitely room for us to play. But in terms of that chemistry, it's just one of those things where when everyone shows up to work ready to play and dive in, and everyone is in that yes, you do find these moments and you do find this permission to create that chemistry, which, I think really translates on screen and makes it so much more enjoyable for audiences and for us on set too.
That's awesome. Like, I watched the first 3 episodes. I did my review. I called it James Gunn's creative stroke of genius. It's bombastic. It feels Adam West at times. I mean, the dance number, you're like watching it, it feels very anime inspired, and then it goes into like a character study, and then it goes full on James Gunn insanity. So how does this happen?
I mean, honestly, we'd have to explore the inner workings of James Gunn's mind to get that answer. But I think, he does an incredible job of inviting us into his imagination by the worlds he creates. And something like Peacemaker, as I think having the response it has had, because we haven't seen anything like it for all the reasons you mentioned. It's this, that, and the other, and it's just a constant surprise. And that he's saying that, the 8th episode is going to be the one that, is going to blow everyone apart. I can't wait. I haven't seen it yet. I can't wait.
Found this.
That'll work.
Oh, I used to really love Cinderella.
Yeah, Tom Kiefer and the boys are like the perfect mix of blues and metal.
Fuck yeah.
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 I appreciate that. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry to wake you. That's the only apartment that didn't answer.
Doesn't hurt too much, does it?
No, not at all.
That's negligent.
Really?
Yeah?
Evan says it makes me look fat.
You have better PJs. That's all I ever said.
I don't see how that could be. Jeez, dude.
Thank you. It's nice to be appreciated.
Are you fucking kidding me, Amber?
What?
Are you seriously trying to get him to fuck you right now?
No, I just said it was nice, goddammit, and we also seem to have a lot in common.
Like what?
We both love Cinderella.
7 years. Not once have you mentioned Cinderella.
Well, I talk about Cinderella at least once a week, Evan. You just never fucking hear me because you're always going on about Coldplay and fuss with the fucking people.
Oh, you're gonna put down my musical taste now? How fucking low are you?
Pumped up kicks, Evan? Do you know what that song is about? Murder! You are a murderer! You are murdering my spirit!
Oh yeah, how do you think my spirit feels when you're trying to fuck this really cool, handsome guy right in front of me?
I am not trying to fuck that, but you know what, Evan? Oh my god, maybe I will. Who knows what's gonna fucking happen, right? Because I'm tied up, I'm helpless. I mean, anything can fucking happen, right? I mean, seriously, who fucking knows?
Evergreen Police, open the door or break it in.
we saw the character of Amber. We know where she is. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Your range of acting is incredible. So I want to say that and just extend my gratitude to that. How was it working with John Cena? Like, he's a wrestler and everything, but now he's an actor and he excelled at both. So how was that?
Honestly, it was such an amazing experience. We hadn't met prior to this. Was the first time for us working together, and I was honestly just blown away by how wonderful, professional, kind, and funny he is, and so smart. And like I said, we're all working out the show, finding the timing. But it was a real treat, and I'm so thrilled that this is showcasing his acting ability. I mean, there's the comedy and the action, and then some real human moments too. I think it's exceptional, and to be a part of that world really is it's an honor. I've had such a great time.
That's an incredible answer, and I just want to say, I know you started out on Smallville. You did X-Men Origins Wolverine. How was it to say I was at the birth of superhero genre media, and now I'm here where it's thriving, and this is the gold standard?
Listen, I think life has a path destined for us that we don't even know. And so, seeing that is where I started and here is where I am today. And I think the best is yet to come. I think the superhero genre chose me.
Do you like working for DC, or would you want to work for Marvel again? Or is it something with James Gunn?
If I had to choose, I mean, I would take Amber on, and continue to explore that character, because I feel like we're only just scratching the surface to who Amber is. But, I think the superhero genre is such a great medium for storytelling. And I think it's a world that allows for so much social commentary as well. It's smart. I can't call myself a diehard fan of comics as some of the fandom, truly is, they really are the representation of that fandom. But I've always had a deep respect and love for comics. So to be a part of the superhero world is, it's awesome. And I hope to have many more opportunities to work both in DC and, Marvel.
Nice. So is there anything we could hope for Amber going forward for those who haven't seen up to episode 7 yet, including myself?
Yeah, well, no spoilers. I mean, you got to just look so far as IMDb to see that Amber is credited with a couple more episodes. So, I think I can't say any more about her journey, but she does pop up, and who knows what happens beyond. I mean, the show is doing really well, and if there was an opportunity for Amber to be a part of the world, that'd be kind of cool.
Okay. One thing I've loved about the show is that it's very rich in storytelling, and it doesn't really hold back. You have a father who's very racist, neo-Nazi idolism inside the house. You have Christopher Smith, who's trying to deal with these things, process everything, nature versus nurture, the effect of morality on our souls. And I kind of feel every character is hiding something every episode, but every episode it peels back a layer too.
Oh, 100%. And again, I think that speaks to the genius of James Gunn's storytelling in this world that he's created. Yeah, it's entertaining, but you look beyond that and there's a deeper story emerging. And I think that's why the show is so unique. And I think, it transcends your typical superhero show. It's why it's finding such a vast audience.
Nice. So how did the music aspect go into it? Because you and John Cena ad-lib about Cinderella, and I was born in the 90s, so my dad's sitting there with me and said, oh my God, Cinderella, I haven't heard them since when I was the 80s. And I was like, what's that? So yeah. I feel so bad.
Music is such a huge part of James Gunn's storytelling process. And so one of the things that I got a real kick out of was when we'd get our scripts, we'd also get the playlist. So it was really, it was such a key component into understanding, okay, the world that is being created. And so, those musical references were really fun. And, I grew up in the 80s, 90s. So I know that style of music. So it was really cool to step into that world and to hear some tracks that I maybe hadn't heard before, but totally get into them.
Nice. So one question I know we addressed before, but what would be the one thing that could get somebody to watch Peacemaker if they've never seen anything at DC?
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, at this point, I think James Gunn is that name is synonymous with awesome entertainment. So if you're looking for something, to sort of fall into, look no further. But I think, yeah, the show is entertaining, it's funny, it's action, it's the violence, it's all that stuff, but there's also heart to it, and there's a genuinely good story there that's unraveling. So yeah, what are you waiting for? Watch Peacemaker. Awesome.
What was your favorite scene in the film, or what was your favorite day on set?
All of them were amazing days on set. I mean, honestly, it like I remember having moments of like, this is what I get to do. This is freaking amazing. I'd never worked with Lenny Jacobson before, and I totally fell in love with his work and fell in love with him. He's such an awesome guy. Those moments to be able to improv and ad lib, I think what it is, the script is entirely James's, but those moments that he allows us to improvise give the actors such a gift, in that we're able to find more nuance in the character. And so then when we go back to the text, go back to the dialogue, there's just a whole new level of exploration and commitment to it that translates. And that generosity, isn't something that's extended, that has been extended my way in every project that I've worked on. So to get that, and with someone as, as averse in this genre as James Gunn is, it's a treat, like, honestly. So every single day was just magic.
That's awesome. Every time I hear about James Gunn, I hear like he's just a genius. He's brilliant. Everything he does for writing and the music choice, and it really reflects the cast and the synergy that you guys have. Every episode, the chemistry is phenomenal. Like, you don't see that nowadays, and everybody brings their A game.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone wanted to bring their A game. I mean, you have this brand new show, everyone's working hard, and the vision exists in James's mind. So we're all there trying to, facilitate this, and he does a really good job of communicating and just trusting his actors. Yeah, like, I can't speak highly enough of the process of working with him, and he's just such a genuinely nice guy. And his engagement with his fans and answering questions. I mean, there's not a lot of people that take time and who work as hard as he does and still finds time to engage. I think it's phenomenal. And the success of, his worlds and his work, is in part to that generosity of spirit, I think.
I couldn't agree more. I feel James Gunn is a pioneer of the Hollywood comic book movie genre nowadays. And the Suicide Squad was a hit. And Peacemaker is phenomenal, and then he's working on Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and it's just like, what else can't this guy do? So, and then your role just stepping in, like, could you talk about how you got cast for that, the reading for it, what brought you to Amber?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to read for Amber, and then the process of casting happened really quickly. I was working on another project when we found out that I'd be on the show, and then there was the announcement that I'd be joining the cast. So it all kind of happened very quickly, and I was just so thrilled. Again, working on a new show, it's different when you're coming into a second season of a show, or midway through a season and it's been developed and you kind of get a sense of it. But this world was completely new. I mean, Suicide Squad hadn't even come out yet, so I felt like I was coming into this world and not really knowing what to expect. So knowing James's work, I knew it was going to be a lot of fun. It was going to be a riot, and I as soon as I signed up for it, I'm like, I'm in. And then to see the outcome and to see how well it's been received has been like the icing on the cake.
It really reflects how James Gunn is dedicated to his craft and how much he cares for the source material. So my next question would be, was there any comics being read? Like, did DC or Warner bring in like a bunch of comics and be like, this is what you can use? Or did James just feel like, I'm James Gunn, I know what to do. This is my vision. Let's do it. Let's get John Cena in that Peacemaker costume. Looks absolutely fantastic. And let's just go have a blast.
I mean, I can't speak to that. That's something that, that's the inner workings of James Gunn's brilliant imagination and mind and creativity. But I think, the world that he created and how it translates on screen is magical. And, I'm excited to see more, and I hope that there is more because it's awesome.
So you're saying Amber's like the Amber show, Amber in season 2? Is this
Oh
what
my
we're
gosh,
discussing?
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? All I know is that Amber is receiving a lot of love, and people seem to relate to her. So anything can happen. I don't know.
Well, you do a phenomenal job with the role. That's the thing too. And respect, creativity endows respect. So I just wanted to say that. And
Oh, thank you.
everything you do is fantastic. You worked on Julie and the Phantoms. You worked on Arrow, Riverdale, and Lachlan Monroe. He also worked on Riverdale as well. So did you guys ever like meet up on set and be like, "Hey, you were in Riverdale, and so were you"?
Oh yeah. Oh totally. We had a couple of days together, and so yeah, we would talk Riverdale, and yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's so cool. Whether it's cast or crew, there's always a little crossover, and it is just one big extended family. So sooner or later, you've worked with everyone. 6 degrees of separation. So yeah, it was nice to work with Lachlan. I've seen him around for a number of years, so it was really cool to work with him again.
Awesome. One thing my brother addressed to me, I couldn't get it out of my head. The show feels like The Office at times. Am I the only one who's getting those vibes of like how the camera will like shake around and it will pan on certain characters and the dialogue
The Office
too?
in a very like wild quantum other dimension, perhaps. But I think it has a little bit of that keep the audiences in the movement feel to it. So yeah, maybe I can see that.
Okay. Anything else you want to discuss on Peacemaker? I kind of feel like we hit it on the head. We did like a really good job breaking it down. What's in store for Amber, your chemistry with John Cena. Do you want to talk about anything else? We can talk about Brazen. Like I did look into that project.
I think we're good with Peacemaker. We can talk a little bit about Brazen for sure.
Okay. So what drew you to Brazen? My mom's obsessed with Nora Roberts, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. She saw the film, she loved it. So yeah.
It was Brazen was a great project that came our way, and I was really excited to step into the role of Captain Rivera. I being a character actor and having the ability to jump and cross over genres, and step into the drama, step into the sci-fi, step into the action, the superhero world, and is so fun. But to get this sort of gear shift and work on a film like this was great, and I really loved the character. I think playing those empowered female roles in leadership is something that I find really fulfilling, and to be telling such a great story, and for a writer that is as iconic as she is. And then also getting to work with Alyssa Milano was wonderful. I was a fan when I was a kid growing up, so it was one of those moments of like, yeah, this is really cool. So the film is doing amazing. It was #1 across 53 countries over the weekend, and I personally attribute a lot of that success to our brilliant director Monica Mitchell, who did an amazing job bringing that vision to life. So yeah, I'm not surprised it's resonated with audiences and had the success that it has. So yeah.
So I want to touch upon the fact you said character actor, and I spoke to a character actress before, Lucy Guest. She did a lot of Hallmark films. Could you like describe that? Do you like being a character actress? Like hey, I saw you in this. Hey, wait, I flipped the channel. There's Allison again. Do you like that? Like when you bump into people?
I mean, yes. I think being a character actor is, for my career, has afforded me incredible opportunities. And how do you define a character actor that's so nebulous? I really don't know. I just know that the work that I do and the work that I have become known for transcends many different genres. And that for me is a blessing, because it's never pigeonholed me into one type. I've never been held back because it was off brand. I've been able to say yes to lots of opportunities and work with artists that I have wanted to work with, my entire career, or looked up to. So I love being a character actor. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Awesome. That's really awesome, and I think it shows your character and how you are as an actress in the landscape of Hollywood nowadays. So I just want to say that to you, and I commend you for that.
Thank you so much.
I need to mention this right now. you were on Supernatural. Like, you can check off the box and say, I was on Supernatural, I was on Arrow, I was with John Cena. Who was the craziest guest star or the person like you never thought you would be working with, and then they walked on the set?
Oh my gosh. So many, but when I worked on when I got to work on X-Files and got to work with Gillian Anderson, and I saw Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny on set, it was a real pinch myself moment, because I grew up watching the X-Files, and never in my wildest dreams did I think that, you know, I'd have the opportunity to meet them, let alone work with them. And it was just one of those things, you know. I think choosing to be an actor is it's such a crazy industry, and you could be the most studied and most dedicated, and it might not necessarily work out for you. But I have been consistent, and yeah, that day working on that show, I was like, this is really cool. Like, this is, I've gotten to a new level in my work, and these opportunities, they mean a lot to me. They mean a lot to me. I really cherish those experiences, and yeah, they're like little milestones. But yeah, the day I work with Pedro Pascal is going to be a really good day. I'm manifesting that.
Oh, okay. Alison Araya on The Mandalorian, maybe? Could be on The Last of Us. You know, Pedro's doing a lot of things now. So.
No, he is. I know he is. So he's definitely an actor that I'd love to work with. Not just because he's a fellow Chilean, but because I think he's freaking awesome.
Okay. I feel like this interview's kind of gone like a little backwards, in my opinion. Not that it's a bad thing. Could you talk about how you got into acting? That was like at the top of my list, and I was like, wait, Peacemaker, because it's so fantastic. So yeah.
Yeah, you know, my journey, like, I call myself a lifer, and acting was definitely, or storytelling was definitely a way of me expressing myself ever since I was a child. I was that kid that was always putting together shows at parties, and was the watch me kid. And then that sort of developed. I ended up going to a performing arts high school, and that really solidified my passion for acting. And then from that moment on, it was really about, how do I master this, and how do I learn to be the best artist that I can be? So I studied in Italy. I went to theater school overseas, and then I went back to Australia, where I was born and raised. And I met an actor in a class, and he sort of told me about the industry in Vancouver. So I had no real intention of coming to Vancouver, but this chance meeting put Vancouver on the map for me. And so I came here, and I haven't stopped working since. So this has been a great place for me to establish myself and establish a career. And, you know, I look forward to what the future holds. I think there's lots of possibilities.
So my next question would be, what's a dream project you want to be part of? And do you feel that you're a storyteller? Would you ever want to be a director?
That's great. You read my mind. I think for me, a dream project would be, being a writer director. I've been working on a number of different projects over the years, and have had so much interest in developing that skill. So as an actor, I've learned so much, and I think there's always a curiosity to extend and the skill set, pardon me. And I think that extension of that skill set would be to be a storyteller in the writing and in the directing. The writing, because like James Gunn has proven time and time again, you know, that inner working of that imagination, and that realization of being able to see it in your mind's eye, and then actually see it on a screen, and that journey to get there. I think that experience in of itself is something that I would love to experience. And then the directing, because being that storyteller and loving the entire process and the humanity of it, and the nuances of it, I think that would be something really fulfilling. So that would be my dream, right? Direct.
Okay, awesome. So my next question, I'm just trying to think. I kind of feel like I asked them all, but you're so awesome to talk to. So, what was like the one piece of advice that somebody on set gave you that you can never forget?
It wasn't on set, but one of the first acting notes I got way back when, actually at that performing arts high school, was "Don't play the problem," you know, and that sort of stuck with me my entire career, and it's something that I go back to. Um, yeah, it was just one of those lessons that I learned early on, and it sort of sticks. And then in terms of like career advice, a really dear friend who's in the industry told me, it's not about the destination, it really is the journey. And at first I really hated hearing that, because I think there's this hunger to get to the destination. But the more I do this and the more I see it unfold before me, no true words have been spoken. It is all about the journey.
I honestly respect that. It seems like you have a drive, you have a commitment, and you're a gold standard for acting right now. So I just want to commend you on that. And I feel to wrap up, my final question would be, what would be an advice you would give to young women, people trying to make it in the industry and just trying to have their name out there?
Beautiful question. I would say, if this is something that you're looking to do for fame, attention, money, notoriety, it's never gonna work out. If there is an innate part of you that is in love with telling story and imagination and creativity, never give up. Find your voice, find yourself, heal what needs to be healed, and launch yourself into this. But yeah, it's have I guess know your why, and honor your why, and in that process get to know yourself, love yourself, and yeah, do it for the right reasons.
That is absolutely inspiring. And I just want to say, Alison, thank you so much for joining us today. And anything you can say about your future going forward? Any projects you're interested in?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I can't share details of the projects that are coming up, but there's some really cool stuff coming up, and I know it's such a womp womp answer, but yeah, there's some cool stuff coming down the pipeline, so I'm really excited about this year, and yeah, just keep following, and things will unfold.
And sorry to cut you off. How can people find you once I upload this interview?
Yes, you can find me on the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Alison Araya, and I'm always posting stuff about work and some behind the scenes stuff, and just engaging with the fans and the followers.
Alrighty. Alison Araya, thank you so much for joining me on the Daily Planet podcast. My Daily Planet Zach just wanted to say thank you so much for doing this also. It's incredible. You're a power horse. You're incredible. I'm trying to close. I am so sorry.
I will take power horse. I love it.
Okay, we can go with that then. You are incredible. You are a power horse. You are a gold standard, and you just take it in this industry. And I just want to say you are incredible. Thank you so much for talking with me today. I look forward to the rest of Peacemaker. Hopefully an Amber spinoff. That'd be fantastic.
From your lips to God's ears, Brendan.
Hey, Alison, let's hope. We just got to keep our fingers crossed.
Right on.